Hello everyone, and welcome on into my first ever Lego set review. I apologize if you hear the Wii music in the background. It's my brother's birthday and he has some friends over. Um, this set has definitely had a lot of controversy, but I definitely think that it is one that any fan of the Bad Batch should pick up, like just for the good minifigures, but then also for the amazing shuttle build. The speeders are just a bonus, but still good to get nevertheless. And let's get right into the minifigures. First, we have Hunter, the leader of the Bad Batch themselves. And I don't know if you guys know this about me, but I am a huge Bad Batch fan. But if I seem a little stuttery, it's just because I'm not really reading off of a script. So there's that. Okay, so looking at our details here, we have this amazing helmet print. I really like it. The white stripe coming down definitely is quite accurate. I don't really know what else to say about it, but I really do like it. And I don't know if you guys can see that, but you can see the three marks right there in red. The three marks over here in black. That is accurate. I'm glad that Lego got that detail right. Moving on down to the torso here, it is the same torso that they use for Wrecker, but it is still a great torso print nevertheless. Very detailed. And then coming on over to the back here, we have this backpack. Now, I actually have a backpack that I built for him that doesn't really look the same as this, but still. And I will be showing that off in the mod tutorial later on in this video. Moving down to the leg print, we have no side or leg printing, dual molding, nothing of that sort. However, I do believe that the actual leg printing itself is very good. I really love the gunmetal gray color and how it kind of gives that shine, like that, how it shines. It's just really good. And then we have the foot printing. Always a good thing to have foot printing. The knee pads on his legs. I just now noticed that those are knee pads. So that's really good because that is on the actual clone armor. We have a knife for him, and then I gave him his own pistol. Now, if we remove the helmet and we put on his hair, we can see this fabulous face print. I really do like the face print, and I do feel like Lego should have given him a new hairpiece where the headband went around the hair, because I just simply feel like that would have been much better, because as you guys know, the headband does go around his hair. However, we do have a skull right there, which is often covered up by the hair, but it is still a great detail nonetheless. And then, turning him around, we have this alternate face print, which I do not like as much. I just think it looks a little strange with the mouth there. So I will be keeping it on this one. But I do think that this character is one that you should often keep the helmet on, just because the helmet is really good, and because of the hair not being a new, mold. Here we have Tech, the genius of the batch, the smart one, very into gadgets and such. And first, there's just a lot to talk about on this figure. Let's start with the helmet right here. I really do like the helmet mold itself. Like, for a Tech helmet, it is very accurate and it is very, just good. It's good printing, good molding. I have a slight issue with the fact that it is greatly oversized, because as you guys know, his helmet should only be around his head and it should not hang down like this. However, and the only reason that I really have a problem with this is that you cannot turn his helmet at all. But the helmet in itself is very great. The torso printing, by the way, I should point out that he is in a lighter shade of gray than any other member of the batch, because in the show itself it is more white than gray, but I do like the choice that they made here. Right here we have the torso printing. I love the belt and how these, I don't know what you would call them, hang down around the legs. That is very well printed. The legs also have those knee pads that Hunter does have, and then he also has footprinting. That is very good as well. I removed one of his blasters and I used it for someone else, but you'll see that later on. Moving on over to the backpack right here, we have this very nice tile printing. I really do like that. It's very detailed for such a small piece. Here we have the antenna, which is also on the actual backpack, and yeah, and then removing the helmet and putting on the hair. As you can see, we have Tech without his helmet, and I think it looks really good. There are definitely other hair pieces that they could have used, but the one that they did use is very well. It's very well designed, very accurate to Tech himself, and I know that it's not a new hairpiece, but still, I do like what they did with the face printing. How they have the green tint on the goggles on the under like above the eyes. Turning this around, we have this back, which I can't bring myself to like. I just think that it looks strange considering how we like. I can't recall a time where we've seen Tech without his goggles. There might be a time that I'm just not remembering, but I do think that this looks a bit strange. So I will definitely just be keeping it on the front side for however long I have this figure to use. Here we have Wrecker, the buff man, the strong one, if you will, of the group. Um, so let's just start going all the way down. So first off, the helmet print is very good, and they have all the markings down. Like said in M&R Productions video, the white right here should be a bit closer to each other. I'm pretty sure it's the mouth right here. Those should be closer together, but I think it looks fine. I really do like it. I do like the red up here. I don't know what symbols those are, but I feel like it's probably something in Orabesh. And then first off, I really do like how they use the Iron Man helmet. I think it worked, and if they didn't want to create a new mold, this is probably the best helmet choice to go with that already existed. Moving on down to the chest plate, they couldn't really do anything to make him actually more buff or taller. Besides this, because if they made a big fig, well, that's just super inaccurate. He would be way too big, would never fit in the shuttle. So I'm really glad with the choice that they made here, and I think that it works. And the chest plate is actually just the same printing on the front as it is on the torso underneath, which is actually Hunter's torso. Here we have the skulls on the side, the shoulder pads. I really do like that. The gun, yeah, so this gun is the one that I took from Tech, and I did actually mod this myself to be more accurate to his real gun, which is more, it's not a rifle, but it's bigger than just a normal pistol. So I did modify that a bit, and I will talk more about modifications later on in my mod tutorial. We have the studs on the back, which can be used for another purpose that I will be showcasing later. The leg print, I'm pretty sure, is the same as Hunter. Yeah, so the torso and the legs themselves are the exact same on Hunter and Wrecker. But overall, Wrecker is a great figure. Taking off the helmet, we can see his face print. He does not have a hairpiece because in the show he does not have a hairpiece. And yeah, I really like I just really like it, and I really like the white eye, the white lines that they have coming down the side of his face. That is as well very accurate to Hunter himself. Wrecker himself. So overall, a very great figure, as are most of the figures in this set. Here we have Echo, the quote-unquote cyborg of the group. Again, I also find this to be a really great figure. I personally love all the figures that are included in the set. But starting up with the helmet, Echo kind of has a different helmet look than all the other members of the Bad Batch in the show. So I'm a little bit disappointed that they didn't make a new mold. However, the mold that they would have made would be very close to the actual Phase 2 Clone Trooper helmet. So I am okay with the fact that they did not do that. Moving on down to the torso, it looks quite similar to the other torsos. However, it is different as he does have a belt and a skull right there. And then he does not have the kind of T, because as you can see on Hunter, he has kind of a T. Kind of, I don't know if you guys can also see that, but it comes up kind of like a T, goes off to the sides. I don't know, just reminds me of a T. And so, good torso. Over here on the arm, we have the robotic part of him. Well, he has other robotic, but this is his arm, probably the most iconic of the robotic parts, other than the parts in his head. And so here we have, they just used a gray hand. What I'm going to do is I have ordered a hook hand piece that's like a pirate hook, and I think that would be very good because even though his hand isn't actually shaped like a hook, it would just kind of get the idea across more of, hey, this guy doesn't have a normal hand. So I am going to be using that, and I will talk about that later. And then moving on down to the legs, they have the waist cape, the cama, I think you could call it, printed on. And I would be fine with this decision to print it on if it went around. I understand that they don't really do back leg printing, but it would have done a great deal for this figure to actually have the camo going all the way around. And if they're not going to do that, they should have included an actual waist cape, which they've done before. However, then he would not be able to sit down in the shuttle. So what I really think they should have done is they should have gone all the way around in the camo. But yeah, we have some footprinting. And then moving on over to the back, I also have a backpack for him. And I do really like the yellow right there. I think that that looks very nice. And you can kind of see the straps going around his waist, kind of, like going off to black right there. Yeah, so that's Echo. Overall, another, like, really good figure for the set. Here we have Crosshair, the sniper of the group, and also a traitor of the Bad Batch. As you can see, he is wearing his Imperial outfit in this figure. And I do hope that one day we see normal Crosshair. I don't know what exactly they'd put him in, because all the set ideas that I have that they could do based on the Bad Batch do not have Crosshair in his normal armor. But hopefully in the upcoming, in a rumored Star Wars CMF coming out sometime, there's probably going to be a Star Wars CMF, and if they do, I hope that they include him. Here we have also, I did make quite a few modifications to the figure, to like a backpack and like a sniper, so I will be showing off that later on in the mod tutorial. But the figure itself is very good in my opinion. I really don't like the fact that they did not have the hole on the side and a rangefinder, because that is very iconic to Crosshair, and I just find it a bit upsetting because we've been wanting them to implement the holes on the side of the helmets in Phase 2 helmets for a long time, and I think that this would have been the perfect opportunity to do it. If not, they need to do it for a Phase 2 Cody minifigure, which is pretty much inevitable at this point. I just don't know when it'll happen. But this would have been another perfect opportunity to introduce the holes in the helmet. However, it could be simple to mod. I'm not going to be doing that mod myself, but I think that it would have been really handy to do so. Here we have the green visor. I do like it. It is a little bright, or maybe it's not bright. Maybe the rest of the armor is a bit too dark, because the actual Crosshair is more of a, like, really, really dark gray, darker than the rest of the Bad Batch, but still not really exactly fully black like this figure. So I think that they could have done a dark gray, like really, really, really dark, and it would have still worked for this figure, and maybe even better in my opinion. Here we have the back with his backpack, and you can see right there what looks to be a clip or something for his sniper, but of course it does not actually work. Over here, the torso and legs, they look familiar to me. I don't know what they are from though, but I feel like it is similar to some sort of figure that we've seen in the past. I really like the white going down, like all the markings and stuff. The belt right here is also pretty great. It just adds a bit more flavor to the character. Instead of just a bunch of white lines, it actually adds some gray. So that's pretty good. The legs are also good. We have the same knee pads as we do most clones. And then we have the feet printing right here, which is also good. The sniper they included is good. However, I personally prefer the one that I built better, and I will be showcasing that later on. But yeah, let's move on to the most important figure of the entire set. Here we have the main attraction of the set, what most of you guys are probably going to be buying this set for, besides the figures themselves. First off, I need to state that the shuttle is not super large, maybe not as large as you guys are anticipating. So here is Crosshair Speeder right next to it. So as you can see, that kind of makes it seem a bit smaller than it may appear on the box art or anything of that regard. However, I do really love the build that they have introduced here, and I'm going to now talk about it for the next few minutes. Sorry, I don't think I can get the whole shuttle in view, but I'll probably just have to get a different angle later. So first off, let's start at the front. The front is very good. Yeah, that does move up and down really easily, which I don't really love too much. I also really don't really love that gap right there, but it's something that you just have to embrace. But yeah, the front in this show, the front does go on after this to like here, and it's much. It gets like really thin. However, what they did here is okay. Oh, I need to regard the controversy about the color of the ship. In the show, it is sand blue. It does appear sand blue in a lot of lightings, and that's really the actual color of the ship. However, it appears gray in lots of dark locations like the planet of Camino. However, the blue is not this bright, if that makes sense. Because if I were to turn off the lights right now, it would still appear sand blue. However, if we were to turn off the lights in the Bad Batch show, it would appear gray. So I don't think that the blue is as vibrant as it is here. And what they could have done is that they could have flip-flopped the gray and the blue to where the shuttle itself is actually gray, and then the blue replaces the gray to be like weathering, because the ship appears gray most times. So while it is actually sand blue, it does appear gray most of the time. But I do like the blue itself because it just adds more variety to, like, if you have a bunch of gray ships on your shelf, then this does add a lot more variety to that. You know what I mean? And then over here at the cockpit, it doesn't go all the way up. As you see, it is stopped right there. So you can't really put a figure in very easily with that. You would have to open it all the way, which I will do. There we go. And I do have a mod for that also. Let's put down the wings and showcase the interior. So here we have the front cockpit, and it does have two seat figures. So what you can do is what I do, put Crosshair, put Hunter right there, and then right here, I think that the best choice of figure to put is Tech, just because he won't really fit anywhere else in the shuttle without removing his backpack, which I don't really want to remove his backpack every single time that I want to put him into the set. So we just put him right there in that seat, click him down. We kind of have to lean him forward, otherwise he won't exactly fit with his backpack, but it does work because then it looks like he's like staring at this, and so that really does work. Moving on towards the back, kind of hard to show this. Here we have about seats for two figures. So those two figures that I have elected to put in there are obviously the remaining still Bad Batch members, and those are Wrecker right there. You can put him. It's kind of hard to do one-handed. Can't say I'm enjoying doing this one-handed. And then Echo. You can just click him down. And now we have both of them just sitting in there. Trust me, the lighting in my room is as bad as it appears. Here we have a little storage area, which I actually will be modding later. But the storage area itself is really good. I really love the system of how it kind of like, when it's down, it just like matches with this. But you can remove that crate if you want to. What I find the best to do with that is to put their hair pieces. So there's Tech's hairpiece, and then, we can put Hunter's hairpiece in there as well, and just give Hunter his helmet, and then that can still close just fine. Moving on back, we have these stickers right here, which I do really like. These speakers. I'm having lots of words messed up today. I believe that says wanted, if I heard Ashen Flash correctly when I was watching his review. I don't really know though. And then over here, whoopsie, right here we have another sticker, and that says Space Battle, and it shows a Venator and a Separatist cruiser. Here we have the piece that is used to allow this to fold up and down. The back of the middle fin does not look nearly as good as this. This looks beautiful. This not so much, but that's just not really something you can fix unless you were to do a ton of the pieces that are tiles on the bottom and studs on the top. But I don't think that LEGO wants to create a new piece for just for this set for every single part. So I think it works. There was really nothing else that they could have done, and except maybe just like have this split in half and have studs on this side and studs on this side. That could work. But overall, there's that. Moving on over here to the back, we have the back window that is used to where they sit to fire the guns, which the guns are actually higher up. So that's the shuttle in its landed position and the interior. And I hope you guys like that shuttle as much as I do. Overall, I think that this is a pretty great set and definitely a must-have for any fan of the Bad Batch show or the Bad Batch arc in Clone Wars, because you get all 5 members of the Bad Batch, alas, not in their actual Bad Batch costumes. Sorry for my terrible camera quality. But yeah, my only issues with the set itself really are, first off, the lack of an Omega figure, which I will talk about later. But I think that that's okay because when this set was first rumored and it kind of leaked, we didn't really know Omega so well. We had just seen her in trailers. We didn't really know her very well. So I don't really blame LEGO for not including her. Plus, there isn't really anywhere to put her in the shuttle without mods. So, on a 50-50, like, draw the line, yes or no, buy or not to buy, I definitely say this is a good set. If we're going good or bad, definitely in the good range, probably actually higher up or in the middle. It's really, really good, and yeah, it's definitely a must-have, and it's very good, but it can be. Originally, it was supposed to be a whole mod tutorial section here, but unfortunately, I had to cut it because it won't let me export the project if I don't have that deleted. So, yeah, mod tutorial will be a separate video. Thank you guys for watching this very long review and mod tutorial, and if you want to see more stuff like this, then just leave a like, maybe drop a comment down below, and subscribe. Thank you guys, and thank you for sticking around this long. Lord Pork Studios out. Peace.